Close your eyes.
I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see.
This world is not what you think it is. This world is not what you think it is.
Close your eyes.
Can everybody see it, Robert?
Yes, I'm just looking now. Yes, come up now. Yep.
Okay, so perfect. So don't get all in a fucking tizzy fit because I'm showing you a ball. That's not what it really is. But here's what I want to show you. Okay. Now up here they show the vital signs of the planet. Now Robert and I were playing around with this the other day. This is your Earth. Okay. This shit is in real time, and the reason why I tell you it's in real time, let me put it in real time for you. This is the Earth right now in real time. Okay, as you can see the date down here, September 2nd, 2016 at 2:16 p.m. That's what time it is. It's actually 1:16 where I am, but my computer says 2:17 because I'm on Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I'm not really Eastern Standard Time, I'm on Central Standard Time. But this is the Earth right now in fucking real time. All right, real time. Now, if you look here, I want you to pay close attention to this. This is North America. This is the United States. You got Canada up here. You got some ice and all that kind of shit, right? You got Greenland, right? Greenland. Now, up here is supposed to be a shitload of ice, the Arctic, right? Now, if you can see clear as day, you can see that Alaska doesn't fucking connect to Russia, right? You see this big hole here. And then you see all this water, and you see land over here. This is all of Russia, right? Now, when I go to sea level, when I click on the sea level view in real time, the last time sea level was done, the average sea level was in 2016, July of this year. Look at this shit. Let's blow this shit up. As you can see, that's the outline of the United States. You got Mexico, you got Latin and South America, all right? This is supposed to be sea level variations. This is all the water around the land masses, right? You can see the land masses very clearly. Let's zoom this shit out a little bit. Here's Africa. There's the Middle East, right? You got Egypt and shit. Yeah, that's United Arab Emirates, you know, Qatar, Bahrain, right? But get this shit. Check this out. Look at this shit. Look at all of this. This is fucking landmass. Where all of this is blacked out. Because you can see United States is blacked out. Everything north of the United States, beyond Canada. Okay? You got Alaska came up here. But look at this shit. All of this blackness, they're saying, NASA is saying, in July of 2016, this is all fucking land up here. All of this shit. Alright? All of it. This is Europe. It goes Italy right here. Right? You can see Italy. Right? North Africa, you got some land up here. This is all water here. I'm sorry. My mistake. It's not water. This is all landmass. That's Italy right there. That's Italy's landmass.
You got the Mediterranean Sea below that.
There is land all up in here. All of this shit, look at this. This shit goes all the way down into the United States. Look at all this. You got Australia, right? You got New Zealand. You got Antarctica. But look at this. This is the United States, and there's a shitload of fucking land that they're not showing when we do this view. Here goes your view. That's all I did. Let me do it again. Okay, let me do this shit again. As you can see, there's landmass here, right? But all this shit's connected. I didn't change the position or nothing. there's a shitload of land all up in here. All of this shit. Now watch when I go back. There's supposed to be land masses here. You're supposed to see what you're supposed to see with NASA. This is eyes on the earth. Let me go back to it again. This shit. They don't think I'm trying to play any fucking tricks in no games. There's supposed to be some land masses in here, man. There's supposed to be, unless this shit is all underwater.
Yeah, it's either underwater or they're just purposely kind of doing that because it means that there's, otherwise you'd have.
You understand what I'm saying?
Otherwise you'd have you'd have the sea variation in the middle, wouldn't you? You'd have the sea variation all the way across.
Exactly.
And there is none.
Exactly. What I want everybody to understand is that the blackness is landmass. Okay? These colored areas, these greens, reds, and yellows.
That's where the sea is
and whites
down over.
That is fucking water.
Yeah.
This shit is all land. So when we go back again, there's supposed to be motherfucking land all up in this shit. Look at this. We didn't see any of this shit. None of this. We didn't see any of this shit. None of this, bro. You want to know where the fucking extra land is at? That shit is all up in here somewhere. And according to that,
where all the water is, that's where they say, there's water.
Yeah, exactly. Now the other thing we wanted to show you was this, which we thought was strange as hell. We're gonna go to the telescope view, right? Now, I'm in Colombia, and I'm gonna show you something fucking interesting. Actually, fuck it. We got a lot more people in the U.S., right? So let's do this. Let's just do this for argument's sake. We got a lot more people in the United States. So let me go to Houston, Texas. Okay? Now I'm gonna face north. I'm gonna go north. Look up at the upper left-hand corner. That's north. Now you are on a ball. Right now you're at 9 degrees elevation. Now for any troll, if they live on a spinning ball, okay, you need to look at this very carefully. Because this ain't Robert Bassano and Robert Shortman telling you we created this shit to try to trick you. This is NASA. This is NASA's fucking software. We're facing north. We're in Houston, Texas. Now, if it was nighttime, you see the star, the constellations rotating counterclockwise. Okay? That's what you see. That's what you see. The fucking landmass ain't moving. So I want to make that shit straight right here, right now. The landmass ain't moving. I'm still trying to figure out how all this shit's flying around the sky, to be honest with you.
Same here, but it's...
But at 31.80 degrees north and 95.21 degrees west, okay? That 95.21, that's an interesting fucking number because I developed a mathematical equation that gives me this shit, and it's interesting that just came up. But as you can see, the constellations, if I do this shit 10 minutes per second, all right? So you can get a good picture of it. As you can see in Houston, Texas, on a flat plane fixed surface, the stars would be rotating counterclockwise, all right? That's 10 minutes per second, September. And because I'm doing 10 minutes a second, it's speeding the time up. It's at 10 p.m. This is what you would see tonight. Okay, this is what you would see tonight. Now, let's change the location. Let's change the location. Let's be fair. All right? Because I sped that shit up. Let's put the light back on. All right? Let's put the light back on. Let's go to Robert. No, actually, no. We're in the north part, right? So let's go to say Buenos Aires. Let's go below the equator. Okay? That is. And let me face the orientation to north, right? Let me go up in elevation about 15 degrees, right? Let me take it to 10 meters per second. 10 minutes per second. As you can see, the stars are also, the constellations, the fixed constellations are rotating in a counterclockwise fashion. Now, we were in the northern part we were north in Houston. Now we're below the equator. Of course, you see different fucking stars. But you don't see all that different. You just, like, for example, you can end up seeing I think this is the Big Dipper, lower on the horizon at 15 degrees. Okay? Counterclockwise. Let's change the location again. All right? Just so that all these people who believe in a ball realize that we live on a fucking flat plane surface. All right? Let me get this shit back in real time again. And I'm gonna be fair, because if Rage Kate is listening, if she's listening, oh shit, don't slow down on me yet, dude. Let me go to Australia. Okay? Let me go to Australia. I don't even know where she is. Maybe she's in Sydney. Doesn't matter. So let me go to Australia. Okay? I'm on the other side of the flat plane. So this is Australia. Okay? I'm gonna take this to, let me face it north. Let me go north orientation. Let me take it up elevation to 15 degrees. And let me take it to 10 minutes per second. Okay? As you can see, it's clear as nighttime. 10 meters a second. All right? The stars are rotating. If we all, no matter where you're at on the flat plane, if we all face north, I'm in Colombia, Robert's in UK, we got people in the United States. I don't give a shit where you're at in the United States. Australia, China, wherever. If you all face north, you're gonna see the stars rotating in a counterclockwise fashion. And as you can see, looking at the Earth, this is the flat plane, it ain't moving. It's the stars that are moving. It's the constellation. The dome is rotating. Now, I'm hoping this shit got interesting. Robert, we're gonna try this with Antarctica. Remember what we did before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So we're gonna go to Antarctica, telescope view. All right, now this is some weird shit. This is where it got weird. Okay, because we're facing north. Okay, we're facing north. Now here's the interesting thing that we're trying to make sense of. It looks like, and I'm theorizing here, okay? And because we're gonna go to the Arctic as well. This is the Antarctic. That if the land masses and our waters are in the dead center of an equipotential expanding ellipsoid undergoing flattening, and we're in the center, we're fixed, okay? Remember, we're fixed. Then that means when you look at this NASA application and you see the fucking ground moving, because the ground is moving, all right? And I thought about this, Robert, after we talked yesterday. And it started to make sense to me of why it would be moving. It's because Antarctica literally could be the outer ice perimeter, and that is moving with the constellations. Because when we go up where the regular land masses were, where there was vegetation, right? The constellations were also moving counterclockwise, but they were moving down on the horizon. When you look at this view, you're looking at the constellations literally moving across the sky in a horizontal fashion. The ice is rotating with the constellations. That's how I was able to make sense
If
of
you go
this.
to the peninsula, that was the same similar thing there, wasn't it, as well?
It was the same similar thing, dude. When we talk about thermodynamics and equilibrium, right? And when people say that, when we all seen those pictures they show, and you see this blue hue of horizon looking out from space at high altitude, what you're seeing is a cryo environment. You're seeing the cold air. You're seeing that static coldness out in the distance. The blueness you see with the sky, the blueness of the sky has to do with the ice. The sky is fucking blue because of what's happening on the outer ice shelf containing all of the land masses in the center. I'm not saying it's a circle. I'm saying it's an equipotential ellipsoid. That's what I'm saying. And it's fucking massive. It's massive. Now, some people are probably going to argue, well, shit, how do you explain the times of day? You're trying to say that the time is different in Antarctica than it is anywhere else? No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that somehow this shit is all moving together. We're not moving, we're fixed. Because I just showed you the other vegetation landmass, they were fixed. Okay. The stars are moving horizontal across the sky in a counterclockwise fashion. That's what we see here. And we're facing north. Now we're going to go to the Arctic. Okay? We're going to go to the Arctic. Because remember, we were here. We were in here. And when we look at this, when you look at the vegetation, I can go anywhere. Shit, I can go to Mexico if you want me to. I go to Central America. The landmass was not moving. You can see it for yourself right now. Let me face north. The landmass is not moving at all. It's not moving. It's the ice making everything move. It's got to move. It's got to move to regulate the temperature. But we're going to go to the Arctic up here. There ain't no fucking ice up there, but we're going to try to get as best we can right here in the center. Because I think this may be it right here. All right. So I'm going to face this north as well. And I am hypothesizing based on 15 degrees. Now we're facing north. Now get this shit. If you don't see this, everyone should see this shit right now. Hang on a second. Hang on. We're north. We're supposed to be in the Arctic. The Arctic dome is turning in the opposite direction. Clockwise. Clockwise, people. So you got the Antarctic rotating. The stars are moving across the sky, right? In a linearized fashion, just like they were in the Arctic, except they're going in a clockwise fashion, where in the Antarctic they were going counterclockwise. Counterclockwise. See, none of this shit in the Arctic is moving down towards the horizon. Everything's moving straight across the sky. So if we live on an equipotential ellipsoid and we're in the center of it, you got the bottom half of us rotating counterclockwise in a linear fashion, and you got the top end of the dome rotating clockwise. They're moving in opposite directions, maintaining fixed stationary stability of the solid land masses in the middle, but there's multiple layers. You got the stars that we see from a horizontal view standing on the ground where we are, right? They're rotating counterclockwise, moving down to the horizon. That's one layer. So wherever you're at on the flat plane, anywhere on the earth, everything's moving counterclockwise, moving down to the horizon. But when you go up to the Arctic, the top of the dome, the fucking top of the dome is moving clockwise. When you go down to Antarctica, it's moving counterclockwise in a linear fashion. So there you go. This ain't my fucking software. This is NASA software. This is NASA. And I think all the satellites are inside the fucking dome. They're all inside the fucking dome, moving around on fucking balloons. And they're being carried by the jet stream, by different layers of the winds that are moving around the earth. And to prove that to you, okay, to prove that to you, I'm gonna take you to Earth Null School. I think that's what it is, Earth Null or some shit like that. Okay, I'm gonna take you to this, and you're gonna see it for yourself. Okay. Let's show the wind. Which one do I want to go to? Do I want to go to this one? Okay, so here we go. Let's see, ocean particulates, temperature. Everybody disagrees with the AE, but I ain't gonna fuck with it. I'm gonna just go with this right now. Here goes the ocean. No, I don't want to do that. Do the air. Right now. Okay. All right. So when we look at this, right? When you look at how the satellites are moving around, right? You see all of these layers. You see all this wind, right? This is the wind right now moving. This is moving at serious high. I mean, the speeds that the jet stream, this wind is moving, could be in excess of 10,000 miles an hour at high altitudes. There at high altitudes, it's gonna get carried around, like, because everything's moving in a fixed elliptical orbit around the Earth. You got shit coming, you know, of course, across certain places, but somehow that shit is jumping in here and getting carried by some of these streams. And just to give you an example, hold on a second. Give you an example. I'm here in Colombia. Let me do this. I'm gonna show you what it looks like in Medellin. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can do my location. Oh, damn. No. Hang on a second. Okay. All right, so I'm up in here. Now you see how look what this wind looks like. Okay, you see how this wind looks the way it does? You get something 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,000, 10,000 pounds, 20,000 pounds at high altitude on a high altitude balloon. You throw it up into the sky and let it catch one of these drifts. It's gonna propel it over to another area till it catches another area, and it's gonna keep going because it's in very low atmosphere, right? Drag. And if anyone thinks that a balloon can't travel like that, just go to Google Loons. Google actually has a balloon program. They're talking about delivering internet service to the world using balloons, jumping up and down, you know, at specific altitudes, offering internet service. Google Loons, Loons. Just look at that shit. Let me take you guys all the way in here to Medellin. Let's keep going, man. So the city that I live in is more like a bowl, right? It's more like a bowl. Because literally the city sits in like a crater. And if you see what the wind and shit is doing here, right? If you want to design your own weather satellite balloon program, then you start studying what this shit, what's happening. Because this shit is in real time. It gets updated every 3 hours. They're using high-end graphic processing units, GPUs. And every 3 hours, this shit gets updated. Every 3 hours, people. This is what it looks like right here in Colombia, what the wind is doing right now. Just to let you know. So when we look at these wind patterns, I ain't gonna fuck with it no more. It's eating up my battery, dude. Bro.
Yeah.
I don't know where else to go from there. Shit, we showed a lot of stuff.
Not much.
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
It shows how much, nonsense NASA's putting out, and even the science community, once they get beyond a certain point, it's just pure guessing, and
it is
based on.
It's nothing but guessing.
But it's good. It's good. At least we showed it clearly.
It's nothing but guessing. I mean, come on. 10 to the minus 18 is our limit? Shit. You gonna tell me we can see things like tens of hundreds of millions of light years away? And we don't have the technological capability here on Earth to see anything beyond 10 to the minus 18? And it's just guesswork? So that means that all the shit that they're showing us from NASA, when they saying, hey, we hear these radio signals far away.
100 light
They
years.
travel hundreds of light years, from fucking some planet somewhere. Man, somebody had some ringing in their fucking ears that day, man. They must have had their fucking bell rung, bro. Because they didn't hear what they thought they heard. They could have heard somebody's fucking baby monitor or some fucking dog or cat squealing or some shit. It's crazy, dude. All those pictures that they're showing us, things that they said, this is an Earth-like planet, this is what it would look like, here's Pluto, here's Uranus, here's Jupiter, here's Venus, all this other shit. I mean, when you go out beyond, you go from where you're standing right now, you go to any ground observatory, okay? And you say, okay, how far am I looking right now? And they tell you you're looking further than 10 to the 18? What? I'm looking how far? And at that moment, I hope I'm standing there with you when you ask them that question. I'll be like, listen, I don't give a shit how many PhDs you have, but you done lost your fucking mind. There ain't no way you showing me something that's 20 fucking light years away, 5 years light years away. Because according to Dr. James Gates, who's the top physicist on this planet, which you probably studied when you went to school, he's saying we don't have the technological capability to see anything beyond 10 to the minus 18. So how can we see in the opposite direction further than that? And they'll be like, listen, this tour is over. You need to go. Somebody call security. That's probably what they'll say. Somebody call security. I can't say I don't understand this, but it's bizarre how we've allowed ourselves to go this long. I mean, I'm over 40 years old. I'm angry with myself. I didn't figure this shit out when I was in my 20s. I mean, I always questioned science. I always questioned it. But now that I'm over 40 years old, I'm thinking to myself, I got a 2-year-old, man. He's going to be 3 years old, in 21 days. And as soon as he starts to read and learn this bullshit, Nico, Daddy got to talk to you. You're going to hear some really bad things in online on Daddy's YouTube channel, but you need to listen to it. And I'm going to let him make the choice.
Yeah, that's
He's either going to carry on with the truth and let his teachers and instructors know, why are you teaching me these lies? Or he's going to say, you know what, Dad? I'm going to carry on with the business. This is ridiculous, man. I mean, come on. You just can't believe this shit anymore. You cannot believe a goddamn thing NASA's going to say ever again. If they tell you, we found this, you know, it's 5 light years away, or they're telling you, hey, we found a new virus or gene or some sort of bacteria and shit, you know, that's so small or whatever. You know, really? Show me. And they'll be like, well, we didn't really find it. We just think it's there.
Yeah,
I mean, we live in a fucking phantom environment, dude.
It's so true.
Half of the shit they're telling us doesn't exist.
It's made it up. It's like climate science, isn't it? You know, make a problem, and then you can have a science for it.
Jaron was saying. Yeah, I think it goes down to what Jaron was saying, that they made up the whole fucking climate change thing because they're worried about that ice melting out there in Antarctica where everything's rotating. If that shit opens up,
that's a big problem for them, man. Yeah.
You know, you got something out there that may come through people ain't gonna like. You know, or people want to go through and say, hey, there's an opening. Let's go out there.
Yeah, either way, they wouldn't want that.
I think that's what climate change is really all about.
Yeah, them trying to control it so they can control the fact and stabilize it.
And yeah, they're trying to control it. And now that we see, I'm not saying we live on a completely flat disk, but when we just looked at that NASA Eyes software in real time, Antarctica and the Arctic were fucking rotating in a linear clockwise and counterclockwise fashion, which means that the top of the dome and the bottom half of it are moving in a linear fashion, clockwise and counterclockwise, and the center where we are is the flat disk. Someone put a video on my channel, says, hey, you should check this guy out. And he was showing some shit regarding Freemasonry and the pillars, where they showed sort of like an ellipsoid at the bottom locked in nets in a chain, meaning that the bottom half was locked up. You couldn't go there. And the top half, on top of it, was a flat disc with a dome over top of it. And he hypothesized that this is probably what the Earth looks like. That the bottom half of it is inaccessible. You can't drill beyond 8 fucking miles. You go into the ocean, you hit some impenetrable barrier you can't go beyond.
That's it. You start going into the different realm then once you go beyond that. Same above.
Exactly. They can't get a human being to the very bottom of the fucking Marianas Trench safely, but they claim they can get astronauts to fucking 200, 300 miles into space. If you can't get down to the bottom of the ocean, what makes you think you can get the fuck up into space? Well, because it's easier? No. John F. Kennedy said it perfectly. We choose not to do things that are easy, but we choose to do them because they're hard. Isn't that what he said? Well, if you want to choose what's doing hard, get your ass down to the bottom of the ocean first.
Yeah.
I mean, SpaceX just had a fucking rocket blow up. It didn't even go anywhere. Mark Zuckerberg's pissed as hell because he probably spent 20, 30 fucking $1 million.
On a big firework.
And it just fucking exploded, dude, right there in Florida.
That was an expensive firework.
So what makes you think SpaceX has ever been able to get any fucking thing off the launch pad, dude? What makes you think that we actually went to the moon or went out any fucking where on a fucking put humans on a rocket, bro?
Absolutely nothing.
It's been over 50 years, 60 years, man. You would think that all this practice.
Oh yeah.
You would think that with all this science and all this practice of getting the shit perfect, making sure that rocket science was absolutely down pat, all the equations, the designs, if you wanted to fucking launch up into space, you had to go through NASA to say, hey, can we get this? We'll pay to license it. Government's already licensed our software and fucking technology shit. So why not license the shit out to these private companies and say, hey, just so you don't blow us the fuck up, here goes the design a rocket that you think could be similar to this, and we'll give you a contract. But instead, they still putting shit out there on a fucking launch pad in Florida. All they did was just flip the fucking switch and the fucking $50 million gone. $100 million just blew the fuck up. And you want to expect that you putting 5 to 7 fucking people on this same fucking rocket to launch them up above 100 kilometers? Come on, man. It's been 60 fucking years. You would think if I've been trying to figure out to design something for 60 fucking years, wouldn't you think that in 60 years I would fucking make it perfect?
It's not going to fucking blow up and it'd have so many redundancies.
And it's not going to fucking explode, dude?
Yeah, exactly. probably a good.
I mean, come on, bro.
They probably didn't want to really launch. They didn't want to fire it up into the atmosphere and arc it over. So a much easier way of getting away with saying to Facebook would be say, "Oh, sorry, it blew up." So it's probably NASA trying to get out for the Facebook contract, isn't it?
Look, if anybody wants to doubt what it is I'm saying, just look at my video titled "Tyranny of the Rocket Equation." No human has ever left the Earth, because Don Pettit, former astronaut of NASA, says it. What the problem is with fucking rocket technology and rocket science? You got to have 93% fuel, and the heavier the payload, you get into a realm where shit. If you're trying to carry something like the Hubble Space Telescope or Chandra, which was twice the weight, twice the fucking mass of Hubble, 50,000 fucking pounds. You got to have 93% fuel, and you're carrying something up twice the fucking weight of Hubble into space. You really want me to believe that shit is there? That must have been one big fucking space shuttle. Come on, man. I done did the videos on this shit. I don't need to argue this stuff anymore. The videos speak for themselves.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if anybody says, "Oh, I got a friend who was an astronaut. I spoke to him. You know, he told me what he saw." Give a fuck what he said he saw. He was just instructed to strap your ass down, sit down, shut the fuck up, and enjoy the journey. You ain't going nowhere. We're putting your ass to sleep, just like anesthesia. You know how when you go there, I've had surgery. They tell you, okay, count down from 10. You know, I had back surgery. Man, I got to fucking 7, dude, and I was gone. When I woke up, I was counting. I started off where I left off. I was like 6, 5, 4. The fucking anesthesiologist says, "Hey, you're done. You're done." What? Shit, how long was I gone, dude?
Yeah,
that's nuts, man.
Instant. Yeah, they'll make it quick for them, wouldn't they? And they just say, "Oh, well, there you go. Now you just have to deal with the underwater simulation through the week."
This guy, I'm looking at the chat right now. This guy Renee Ibralucia, he says Hubble is Sophia on the 740. Yeah, I know it. Hubble is Sophia. I'm the one who did the video. I made the phone call. I called the Hubble Space Telescope Deputy Program Manager and the fucking guy who's Nicholas Veronico, the head of Sophia. I was the first one who did that. I was the only one who did that shit. Put my ass out there. Hubble is Sophia, and so is Chandra too. Matter of fact, Sophia, the guy even says, Nicholas says, that they have at least 7 different instruments. It takes them, I think what he says, 2 or 3 days to switch out the instruments on the 747 so they can do different types of celestial measurements, infrared, whatever the fuck they're looking at. Period. So when they talk that they have 7 different instruments, that means, okay, that they got fucking Hubble, they got Chandra, they got every fucking space telescope you could ever imagine. They got that motherfucker on the 747. Then you're not gonna be able to go on the website and search the shit and see the comparison because they already renamed the shit. They renamed it. But I guarantee you look at the technical specifications, it's identical to what the shit they claim that is out there in space. They claim they spend over $1 billion on. They spend $1 billion. Here's the irony of all this shit. They say they spent $1.5 billion for Hubble, right? You know how much it cost for Sophia? $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion. That's a magic fucking number for them.
Yeah, it's a quick one. They can throw it out, and then that shuts everyone up because it's a big number, and they say, "Oh well, you know."
All of this evidence, all of this proof is in plain sight. This shit is all in the numbers, all in the mathematics, all in the data. You start doing the comparative analysis, you'll see, holy shit. Like the one guy who's on Bob's show who said that when he called up NASA, they told him that things that he wanted to look up in the sky, they were coordinating with the observatories on the ground. What the fuck? Coordinating with the observatories on the ground? Oh, so that definitely proves they ain't shit up there. They ain't nothing up there. Nexus Ninja asked me, did I go to CERN? Hell no, I ain't go to CERN, man. People been telling me all kinds of crazy shit that might happen to me if I go there. Probably never come out. They probably teleport my ass somewhere else so I can shut the fuck up. If I do go, I'm gonna have to go with a group of people, man. Fuck it. Because if I get fucking teleported somewhere else, I at least want to have some people I can talk to. Where the fuck I'm going to end up? Whatever the hell I'm going to end up. Dude, this is crazy what we did, man.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe we did shit like this. And tomorrow, when we do tomorrow's show, everybody think I'm going to be bashing fucking religion. I ain't going to be bashing religion tomorrow. No way, dude. I ain't touching that. There ain't no such thing as religion. But I'm not even going to go there on that. We're talking about other things. We're questioning everything.
Yeah.
We're questioning everything. Questioning everything, man. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this. Robert, you wanna share anything? You wanna show them something?
No,
to you, bro.
pretty much fantastic. Yeah, you covered everything I was thinking of in relation to that. Totally.
Yeah, I'm putting the James Gates for the YouTube link where he says our technical limit is at 18. So in the future, if you guys start talking about Polaris and all these stars being fucking light years away, you better fucking retract that shit and correct yourself. Cause shit, you ain't seeing nothing. You've never seen anything beyond 10 to the 18 or 10 to the 16 out in the sky. They are lying to us every day, taking your money. If you work a 9 to 5, you working your ass off paying your taxes, they are sitting back laughing their asses off in the Washington, D.C. metro tri-state area, eating them fucking fat-ass juicy steaks at Morton's Steakhouse, laughing about how much of your damn tax money they didn't put in their pocket and gave to their contracting buddies. That's what they did. Yeah. That's what they did. Look at and you know what? People should start paying attention to the countries that don't have space programs or their own satellite program. It's not because those countries are poor. I want you to get that shit straight right now. Brazil's got a space program. They actually build rockets and shit like that for Ukraine. They got a partnership with Ukraine. They're right across the border from me, east. But the rest of the countries in Latin and South America, they don't have their own satellites. It's not because they're depending on the U.S. for that shit. They know something. And what they know is this. There ain't no fucking satellites in fucking space. What the fuck do we need to look at the land for? We can put a fucking airplane up in the sky and take pictures of the ground to do surveying and geographic mapping. We don't need fucking anything out in space. I mean, think about this shit, man. Colombia found in their own country 10 years ago they didn't even know existed. There's land in Colombia they found 10 years ago they didn't even know existed, and it's so precious that they actually they classified it as a protected national park in Colombia. Nobody even knew this shit was even there, bro.
Wow, didn't know that.
What does that tell you about satellites, man?
It says that.
What does that tell you about the cooperation between Colombia and the United States when Colombia can't even know how much land they fucking have? Think about that shit.
Yeah, because if they had all that data, then they would have looked and thought, oh yeah, look at the extra land we've forgotten. How stupid, and slapped themselves, wouldn't they? They would have just thought, oh look, shit, they've just discovered it and walked upon it and thought, wow, we've just found a new area. We better add that to the map, It's very kind of.
I mean, that's what's happening. It's fucking crazy, man. There ain't no satellites, man. I mean, I'm not gonna say there's no satellites. I'm just saying they're not at hundreds of miles above us.
No, I mean, I had the same thing when I phoned up that chap. He couldn't answer where the satellites are. He couldn't answer why they couldn't take certain pictures in certain areas. Yeah. So that just said
when they say they can't take pictures in certain areas, it's probably because there's so much fucking land that they're not telling us about. They don't have anything that can get there and come back. They actually deliver the fucking picture. Think about that. I mean, you were in Antarctica, Robert. Think about how you can't take a non-stop flight to literally go from one end of Antarctica where you were on the British station to, say, McMurdo, which is on the other side. Think about that. Think about why it takes 3 flights.
Yeah, that's true. That's weird.
And at the Halley station to get to Concordia, which is supposed to be in the smack dab middle of Antarctica. You can't fly non-stop round trip from Halley to Concordia and back. You gotta jump 3 flights just to get there, and 3 flights back. So how big does that tell you how Antarctica is? It tells you it's fucking massive.
Yeah, much bigger than what they're saying.
Massive. Conditions at Concordia are more extreme than being on the ISS. Now I looked over that data again because I got the information from the Italian Space Agency's website.
Yeah.
They said almost 200, about 200 degrees below zero. That's Fahrenheit, of course.
Yeah.
They said the temperature can get that low. Now, guess what dawned on me when I read that information? That when I had that phone call with that girl, when I asked her what the temperature was on the ISS, and she says it's minus 200 to plus 220, I'm like, holy shit. That fucking thing ain't up there. How the fuck could the temperature be the same as it is on the ground on Earth? In Antarctica.
Yeah.
In Antarctica, bro.
She's quoting it in Fahrenheit, yeah.
Go out there. Astronauts are actually sent to the Concordia station anywhere between 3 to 6 months before they actually launch.
Didn't know that. Wow.
They go down there to get acclimated. How the fuck do you go to Antarctica to get acclimated for fucking space travel? They say it in the literature, man.
Wow.
It's in the Space Agency's literature that they go down there to get acclimated before they launch. You know how many fucking meat lockers I know in fucking the meat packing district in New York where you just go sit that motherfucker for 3 months? You ain't got to go to Antarctica.
And I think you could.
Those are in New York, man.
You're so right. They're minus 40 plus kind of thing, so you could easily.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
You could easily simulate that situation. You wouldn't need to go to that. And then they have facilities which are like a lot larger than that, and got windows and lights and electric and all that can do even colder. So why they'd need to go to there to do that particularly? That's a mystery in itself, isn't it? Wow.
And the temperature is so fucking perfect on the ISS, dude. You don't ever see no condensation. It ain't never really fucking hot on that motherfucker. They ain't ever sweating on that son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's rubbish.
They ain't never sweat. You'll never see no sweat glistening off their forehead or nothing, bro. You don't see no deodorant marks under their fucking shirts. Nothing. Their shit is perfectly pressed. Their clothes are perfect. Now, there are people gonna say, well, because they're in microgravity, so nothing wrinkles. Bullshit, dude. They gotta go to sleep.
Yeah, they strap themselves to the bed. They're gonna be crushed up, aren't they?
Oh man, this shit is all coming crashing down real fast, dude. I'm waiting for the next person to come up with something that's gonna blow everybody away, man. I really do. Everybody, with regard to the technological capability, if there's anybody out there that still believe we live on a ball, man, I will start a crowdfunding effort, man, for you to go get psychological help. But something new we did realize, Robert, based on the conversation you and I had privately yesterday, was that there's an upper and lower dome, and Antarctica is moving linear in a counterclockwise fashion, and the Arctic is moving in a clockwise fashion. So there is a top half and a bottom half, and we're in the middle, fixed and stationary around us. The ice is moving, dude.
Ice is moving, and I also think that there is those layers. There's those layers up there, and then there's those layers once you get down to a certain level within the ground or within the water. No different.
And it's got to make sense. Exactly, it's got to make sense that Antarctica has to be some outer ring moving really fast. Because get this, when you were down there, right? What was like the highest wind speed that you experienced?
Oh god, the wind there. The wind was really heavy, quite heavy actually. Most of the time it's the biggest I had. It was 85 mile an hour. Because
some of the data I looked at on National Science Foundation, they said that the winds hit like over 120 miles an hour.
Yeah, they can.
But that's like in extreme winter times, right?
Yeah, they I mean, there's some days you wouldn't go out, and if you did, it was a nightmare.
That's representative of being on the ground moving real fucking fast, bro. That is representative of being on the ground moving real fast, like on a merry-go-round.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It could be with the wind. So I mean, where you have such extreme winds like that, you'd thought you'd have.
that's the only way. That's the only way. And when you get increased pressures, right? You increase the pressure. Say the pressure increased from the top of the dome, and it started pushing the air down. You increase the speeds in the wintertime. You get high winds, it gets real fucking cold, right?
Yeah.
The ice builds up so that you can turn on the air conditioner, so to speak. That could explain the season changes, man. Increased pressures.
Yeah, plain air conditioning.
That could explain it. I don't know, man. I mean, we gotta figure out how to create a model, man, a software model to illustrate how all this shit works. But I just showed everybody on NASA Eyes, there's more land, okay, up north of Canada, that's linking Canada to North America to Russia, right? They don't show it on the maps, but there's a shitload more land up there. So now I'm gonna start going on Flight Radar 24 to see what's actually flying up in that area, because I've actually seen planes fly up above Greenland and then they disappear off the Flight Radar 24, and then they reappear when they hit, most of the landmass in Canada. Check that shit out, dude.
Wow, I'll have to look at that.
Check it out.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, that's really strange.
But listen, man, I want to thank everybody for coming in, listening to us. You saw what we saw.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
We showed it to you as well for the first time. Of course, Robert and I had a free look at to begin with in the first place to do this hangout. But yeah, feel free, share that video, mirror it, do whatever the hell you want to do with it. Let everyone know. I want to thank everybody. And again, people, like I said, my motto is not what you know, it's what you can prove. Take care. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock sharp. All right? That's when we're doing the next show. It'll be me, Robert, John, and Vivian, Lucas, Marcus, and Deval. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun tomorrow. All right? Take care, people. Be safe. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your Labor Day. Peace out.